All right, everybody, welcome back. We are Monday of week 5. This is our language arts video. All right, so first and foremost, we're going to talk, about spelling. So for spelling, you still have your words like you normally do, except that this week we do not have a test. We're going to move the test to next Wednesday. So there's no test this Wednesday. You're going to spend all week and all of next week on these words, okay? For writing, you guys did your biographies last week on Lincoln. They looked great. Now we're moving into our poetry unit, okay? And this is what today's poetry thing looks like. So we're talking about couplets. And what a couplet is, a couple is two, right? So this is 2 lines, a 2-line poem that rhymes. And usually, not necessarily always, but usually they have the same amount of syllables in both lines. It just sounds good that way. So on your sheet it says, first try rhyming words in the boxes, then write verses to bring meaning to the rhymes and topic. You don't necessarily have to do the rhymes first, but please make sure that your lines do rhyme. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples, okay? One was, she was a little tense, the notice made no sense. Another one is, it's hard to see the butterfly because he flies across the sky. I saw a little hermit crab, his coloring was oh so drab. So see how those all rhyme? So your job today is to fill this sheet. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 couplets that you're going to make. Create 4 couplets. They could be about anything, so long as it's school appropriate. But it could be about anything, but your 2 rules are that it has to rhyme. So 3 rules. It's 2 lines. It has to rhyme. And try to make them all the same. Try to make both of your lines the same amount of syllables, okay? Each couplet can have a different amount of syllables, but try to make sure that each line for one couplet, both lines for one couplet have the same amount of lines, okay? And now we're going to be talking about linking verbs today and sentence diagramming. It is our last week in sentence diagramming, okay? So we're going to look at the sheet. I've put one of them on the board for us. So today when we're talking about linking verbs, I also want to show you, I want to explain the sheet a little bit to you. So this is what your worksheet looks like that you have to get done, okay? This is what the worksheet looks like. If you notice on the back, that's not in there, but on the back I put an example and like an explanation of how to do them with linking verbs. So if you watch this video and you're still a little confused, maybe that will help you as well. And if not, you obviously can always ask me any questions, okay? But we're gonna go ahead and go over this. So adverbs, I just closed my pen. Adverbs are, we're talking about linking verbs. Linking verbs are verbs that link the subject to other words in the predicate. So it's not necessarily doing verbs. They're not necessarily doing anything, but they're still verbs that link to the rest of the sentence, okay? So this is how we're going to write it. I'm going to use example 1, it says number 4. So I'm going to do number 4 and 6 with you. All right, 4 and 6, possibly 5. Anyway, so the tiny baby is happy. Like always, we start out with, what is our subject? Our subject is going to be baby. So we write baby on the line. Now, what verbs do we have? There's only one. The only one verb that we have is. However, we know that this is a linking verb. All of these verbs in here are going to be linking verbs, all right? So all of these linking verbs, the way that you write this is instead of a line, you're going to do a slash like this. So it's going to be slash and then happy, because what are they? What is the baby? The baby is happy. But we're missing 2 other words. We're missing the tiny. So these are going to be 2 separate lines. The tiny. Okay? So you have your subject and any adjectives for the subject. So baby, and then what are the 2 describing it? You have the article the, and you have tiny. Is our linking verb, so to link it to the predicate, you're going to put a slash, all right? Let's do number 6 because it has a compound subject. So ours is ginger, and Mary Ann are lost. That's never good. All right, so let's start out with our subject. In this case, subjects, because like I said, it's a compound subject. So we have two. What are our two? Ginger, Mary Ann. So I'm going to write my words in my lines and then I'll pick it up for you to see. They're going to come together because they're both going to have the same verb. We see that they have the same verb over here. So they're going to come back together. And I have my dotted line because of and, right? And. So what would our subject be here? Not our subject, I'm sorry. What would our linking verb be here? So we have our subject. What's our linking verb? The word are. You're going to do are because our verbs come next. Now, we know that are is the only one. So after that it says they are what? They are lost. And remember, for linking verbs, you're going to put the slash. Are lost. And there's number 6. All right? If you have any questions, please let me know.